This is Zone Wars, and it's arguably Fortnite's most mechanically demanding game mode. There's a reason that every pro you see plays it. If you're too slow, you'll die to storm. If you don't know how to build, you'll get piece controlled and die. If you build too much, you'll run out of mats and die. Essentially, every mistake you make will guarantee your demise, which is why Zone Wars is deemed as one of Fortnite's hardest game mode. And my friend Swax over here reminded me that I suck at it. So I decided that for 7 days straight, I was going to practice Zone Wars as hard as I could so that I can beat Swax by the end of the week. And you should stay tuned, because from fighting against potential cheaters to completely pushing back my boundaries, my journey to master Zone Wars and beat Swax was absolute cinema. Day 1 is actually where I first lost to Swax. So straight after losing, it was clear that I had to make a change or two. So in order to elaborate a plan, I did the most painful thing ever. I sat down and I reviewed my match. And although it was a total bore to look at, I got exactly what I wanted. The first thing I noticed is that I'm actually really capable of making good plays like this one. That was probably the smartest play I've ever done in my life. But most of the time, I was still getting demolished by Swax. Oh. And that's a good thing, because that actually helped me pinpoint the 3 things I struggled with the most. My aim, my mechanics, and my game sense. So, the plan was made. For 7 days straight, I was gonna get up every morning, train my aim for 30 minutes, then my mechanics for another 30 minutes, and play as many Zone Wars 1v1s as possible. Oh my god. That's it. That was the plan. What could possibly go wrong? Day 2 kind of went according to plan. I mean, I followed my routine, all this and all that, but it's throughout my 1v1s that I found out there was a massive problem. Let's see if you can spot it.
Oh my god, bro.
I am ready for this 1v1. Fucking dominated. I feel like I could actually 7-0 that guy. Okay, I have no mats. How do I play this? Turns out that I was not 7-0ing him, and that all this guy wanted to do was play super cringe. What do I do against this? I'm talking about camping height, chopping everything, and even spraying off start. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? So I had to find a solution. Okay, I gotta prevent this guy from playing the way he plays. And I think the best way for me to do that is actually like unplace a floor and a wall off my start. But William, I hear you ask, what the fuck is that gonna change? Well, let me tell you why that would work. The reason this cringy little goblin was winning rounds was that he would always get height early and keep it by spraying. He would be pressuring me off start, which allowed him to take height easily and distance himself from me because he simply can't hang with me in close quarters. So by reinforcing my start with a floor and a wall, I can buy time to allow myself to take height and close off the gap between us. Now on paper that would make sense, but will it actually work? That worked pretty well, so now I don't think he can do anything about it anymore. And I was also right, because I proceeded to demolish this guy for the rest of the 1v1, and he literally couldn't do anything about it, bro. I was out there moving like prime Mike Tyson on him. I mean, just observe what I was doing to this poor guy, man. Oh my god, I'm so sexy. I'm actually insane for this. Of course he left. I would have left after that too, I'm not gonna lie. And as for the remaining 1v1s of day 2, let's just say it all went pretty well. Oh my god. I demolished all of them. With all of those fights, I was feeling pretty confident moving on to day 3. But, do you remember the problem I was talking about earlier? Well, that's the problem. You see, in order to beat Swax, I was gonna have to improve a lot. But I can't improve when I'm just stomping on little Timmies. I have to be facing good players. So on day 3, I found a worthy opponent. So worthy actually that he might have been cheating. Nah, he definitely was. We got OT Pump who's trying to catch a fade. It's gonna be a wrap. It's gonna be a fucking wrap, bro. Boy, was I wrong.
This guy pumps pretty hard.
I got clapped. But this 1v1 was a little different. You see, me and Mr. Bump here were running a best of 3, meaning that although I had already lost the first set, I still had 2 more chances to win against him. Could I actually take down a cheater? Oh my god, what? That was the weirdest round ever, bro. I had somehow managed to win the second set, but this last set was going to be for all the marbles. So if I really wanted to beat a cheater, I only had one thing to do. I had to lock the fuck in.
Wake up, filthy.
I won. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not like I actually shit on him. The road was pretty bumpy, if you want my opinion. Like, at one point, the score was incredibly close. I had no mats, was deep in storm, and was about to lose the set. But I managed to pull it off somehow. Yeah. But before fully closing off the 1v1 and hopping on to day 4, there was one thing I had to check. Yo, OT Bump, can you hear me?
What happened?
Okay, do you have that shotgun pack, bro? Be honest, because your aim is actually crazy.
No, bro. My aim not even that good, bro.
You lying ass motherfucker. I was now more than halfway through this challenge. My next 1v1s for day 4 and 5 were already set up and I knew exactly where I was going. But on day 4, I actually made a realization. My edits, my aim, my builds, my beast control, game sense, everything was quite simply on point. I could tell that this previous day had more than paid off. I mean, bro, I was literally moving like prime 2024 Peterbot, bro. Look at this. Oh no. Dog, who does that? I'm literally the GOAT. So not only did I demolish the first guy, I outclassed everyone else I played that day. All of this had me thinking that maybe I had already acquired all the skills I needed to beat Swax. If so, all I had to do was maintain the skill level, and there's no way I could lose to anyone. Right? What goes up must go down. And oh boy, did shit go down. Because I played against a player who might have had the cringiest playstyle I've ever fucking seen. Shopping, spraying, camping high, boxing up, bro. He had it all. And the worst part, he was insane at it. Enter Pineapple FN. Bro, we're about to play. Why'd you boot up Clash? Pineapple gives 0 fucks. So after making me wait 5 minutes for his Clash Royale game to finish, we finally got in the match. And in the first couple rounds, everything was sailing kind of smoothly, man. I'm not gonna lie, but that changed pretty quickly. After I only got a couple of rounds on him, he started playing like the dirtiest, greasiest player I had ever faced. So I told myself I had to teach him a lesson and tried my hardest to beat him. But I couldn't. The score ended 8-10. Pineapple's playstyle was simply one I couldn't counter. And it made me realize that if Swax played like that on day 7, I wouldn't be able to do anything against it. What could I even do in that case? What if after all this work I put in, I still lost? So I thought I only had one thing left to do. Today is day 6. And as you can see, we got the glasses on. But there's a specific reason for that. Today we're VOD reviewing. Although I don't need glasses for that, VOD reviewing is essentially just staring at your monitor, looking at replays, and taking hella notes. And why would I do that? Because know yourself, but know your enemy better. And that quote motivated me so hard that I not only studied my 1v1 on day 5, but also studied many other players who could replicate Pineapple's playstyle, just to make sure I never lose to this playstyle again. So after studying for hours, I did my warm-up and practiced in zonies for as long as I could. And before I knew it, it was time for my final 1v1. I was so nervous. 7 days ago, I got absolutely obliterated by the semi-pro creative demon, and now it was finally time for me to redeem myself. But my dumbass thought it was a good idea to start the 1v1 with no warm-up and some cold-ass hands. And from the first round alone, things weren't looking too bright. Not warming up was clearly a bad idea. And although I managed to sneak in a couple of rounds, Swax was demolishing me literally the whole entire time. And thus, I no longer had room for error. If I really wanted to win this challenge, now was my only chance to bring it back. So I had to make it work. I had officially managed to tie the score up. And now that we were even, all I had to do was win the next 2 rounds, and this entire challenge would finally come to an end. This was the last stretch.
Bro, he always just like half peeks, bro. Holy shit, alright. Won.
And just like that, I had beaten Swax and won the challenge. So it's safe to say that during those 7 days, I improved way too much. And if you guys want to see me keep getting better, I'm going to be streaming on Twitch every single day, so make sure you tune in. And of course, thank you so much for watching this video.